The more energy we pour into the pursuit of happiness, the more we seem to hollow ourselves out from the inside. We are moving faster than ever, yet the internal void only grows deeper. Many attempt to solve this by walking away entirely, renouncing the world in search of a quiet exit. But often, this isn't a shortcut to peace. It's just the start of a different, more isolated race. To find the exit, we have to look at the mechanics of Rag, the psychological magnet that pulls us towards specific outcomes, people, or comforts. Then there is Virag, the equally powerful force of repulsion. This is the act of running away, the desperate need to distance ourselves from what we fear or dislike. While these feel like opposites, they are functionally identical. Whether you are sprinting toward a desire or sprinting away from it, that object still dictates your speed, your direction, and your state of mind. You aren't free, you are simply reacting. This is the central error of human psychology, treating attraction and repulsion as two different systems. In reality, they are just the left and right swings of the same pendulum, driven by the same kinetic energy. A person obsessed with hoarding money and a person who fears even touching it are both locked into the same orbit. The pivot point, the thing that holds all the weight, is still money. The oscillation only exists because the mind is still anchored to the importance of the object. True detachment isn't about deciding which side of the arc is better. It's about removing the weight from the pivot point, so the pendulum loses its reason to swing. This process starts with prana, the vital energy of our attention. Suffering isn't a product of the objects in our environment. It is a result of where we choose to anchor this energy. We habitually tether our energy to external things, like money or status, leaving our core empty. When these fragile objects inevitably break, the tether violently snaps back, fracturing our internal stability. But by reclaiming these tethers and housing your energy internally, external shifts cannot crack you. We are not vulnerable because we lose things. We are vulnerable because we mistakenly house our identity inside things that were never ours to keep. This is exactly why simply changing your physical location rarely changes your state of mind. You can walk into a forest to escape the city's noise, but unprocessed desires will simply walk in right behind you. In silence, unfulfilled cravings often grow louder. Without the distractions of modern life to drown them out, these internal echoes can become more torturous than the world we tried to leave behind. Even worse, the act of giving things up can become a new kind of trap, the spiritual ego. We trade physical possessions for a psychological identity built on the pride of having nothing. The mind begins to whisper that it is somehow inherently superior, or highly disciplined, or fully awake. This is not freedom. It is just a more subtle form of attachment. True knowledge isn't a collection of sacrifices or spiritual trophies. It isn't found in how much we have abandoned or how many visions we have chased. Abandoning the world is useless if you remain attached to the person who abandoned it. Wisdom begins only when the I that wants to be special finally disappears, leaving behind a simple, unadorned existence. Human experience is governed by a mechanical rhythm, a sine wave that oscillates between pleasure and pain. This cycle is as inescapable as the tide. We suffer because we try to grab the peak of the wave and hold it in place. But the wave is a single system. By trying to lock ourselves into pleasure, we create the friction that makes the inevitable slide into pain feel like a catastrophe. Even the desire for peace becomes a source of anxiety. The moment we feel a state of calm begin to shift, we grip it tighter, and that very grip is what destroys the peace we are trying to save. The bondage isn't the wave itself. The bondage is the act of trying to freeze a moving system. The resolution is Sakshi Bhav, the witness state. This is the practice of stepping off the wave altogether. It means observing joy without trying to capture it, and observing pain without trying to push it away. When we stop grabbing at the peaks, we stop being dragged into the troughs. Like ripples passing over stones in a pond, experiences move across our awareness, but they no longer leave a mark. We are no longer providing the friction that allows the wave to toss us around. This is the true meaning of vairagya. It is not the absence of things in your life, but the absence of your psychological reactivity to them. The objects remain, but the tethers have been cut. The moment you stop trying to become someone, whether wealthy, ascetic, or spiritual, the effort to be something ends. And in that stillness, you finally encounter what you have always been.